Hey guys, what's up? This is Mayhem, or some of you may know me as Mage Designs, and I'm going to bring you a little tutorial on how to make a glow inside of modules in the back into YouTube backgrounds. So let's just open one up real quick. One second. Okay, and the link to this module will be in the description if you need it. It has every single part just separate instead of all together, which makes it a lot easier to do this. First of all, I'm going to make this have a little glow to it in the background, so let's add this, and we'll put red. Okay, I'm not going to do this too long, so... Okay, here, now you can see this, and whenever you want to do this, whenever I do it, like almost all my backgrounds have this, I usually put it at like a really dark gray for the actual module. I usually put it at 2 or 3, so I'll do 2 for this one, and just go over that, and then just do the same thing for all of them. You can also do a color overlay if you want, but this is a whole lot easier just to get these like that. Alright, and later on you can do the rest. Okay, so now usually what you want to do to make it look the best, you go to either the video box, which is this right here, or the channel box, which is the one below it. So we'll go to channel box and just double click on that, and first you want to do a stroke. For this stroke, I do usually whatever color glow it is, just a little bit darker, and you don't have to do it like that main color. You can also do a gradient of it, so I sometimes do a gradient, not always. For this we will. We can start out with a kind of dark red, not too dark, a bit darker, and then another one right there, just delete that, and then one in the very middle, but let's make this a whole lot brighter. There we go. Okay, so now we have that, and we can make the scale a little bit lower, which helps a lot, and make the size 1. So you can see that now, it's kind of on it, kind of not. Looks pretty sick. And for the scale, bring it whatever you want. I usually do between 70 and 100, we'll put it at 85 right now. And there's for a stroke. After that, you can do a benevolent emboss, and you don't have to change much to this. All I do is make the size down to 2 and bring the opacity down to around 45, so you can't really see it. And for the shadow doesn't really do that much. You can not really tell the difference. Sorry about that. You can't really tell the difference between it if you have shadow or not. See, it doesn't really change that much, but you can have it about the same as the other one. Now you can have a drop shadow which goes around it, which makes it look really, really nice. And distance, always 0. Spread, you'll see me sometimes doing 8 for spread, or 15, it's usually in between. For this we'll do 15, and for size we'll also do 15. So that's what the module is going to look like for now, and we're going to put more to it. So actually go back to benevolent emboss and make the size 1 for this. For what we're doing, it's a lot better. And bring the opacity down just a little bit more, to like 32, there you go. Nice, okay, wait. Things lagging? Alright. You can just press this little button to bring it up, make it a lot nicer. And then, to get each one, just right click, press copy layer style, and press paste. It'll prompt the other one. Just close that up there, paste again, close that, and just do that for every single module. And you can change whatever you want, do whatever you want to them, make it look nice, be creative. So now here comes the part that I was talking about, the glow on the inside of them. This is also called gradient, which you could call it, but I just call it glow, I guess. I usually start out with the channel box right here. You usually want 2 layers on top of each one, except for the description box. Just put 1 on top of it, which is going to be right there. For every other one, just put 2. Also, the YouTube box, you only need 1. But for the rest, just put 2 on top. Okay, now you're going to hold Alt. Oh, 1 second. Alright, sorry. Now hold Alt and go in between the 2 layers and click, and do the same thing for this, so that they're both have these little arrows attached to that. And then do the same thing for these 2 open layers for this one, and so on for the rest. Okay, now you can start out with the channel box like I said, and go to the highest layer. Well, it doesn't really matter between them, but I just do the highest, and pick a red, but a little bit darker than like the actual background color. And you can change this with opacity later, which I'm gonna show you after this, or just after, like right now actually. I put this at around 500 for the channel box. Actually, let's do 550. Yeah, you could put 550, I guess. 500, 550, it's fine. And just go like whatever you think looks the best. I don't know how to really describe it. Just put that there. You can even come down a little bit more. Sorry. Let's go back on that. There, so it has that. And then what you're going to do is come to the one below it, and don't go on top of it, go to the side of it kind of, but really close, and just kind of drag. I messed up there. Just like drag it along, and you'll see like a narrow strip kind of coming down. Just drag it for that. And just leave those there for now. I'll show you what to do after. And just do whatever you like to these, kind of do the same effect on all of them. I'll show you the rest. I did kind of big right here. I know, like, you can change that if you want. Usually what I do is I make it a bit more wide compared to like how long it is, so I'll actually change that. Just delete that layer that you made. And why didn't it delete? I probably did it on this layer. Yeah, I did. Alright, that's alright. Just what you could do is come here and instead of 550 do 600 and just make it there. I'm not really going to take too long on this. I'm not really going to end up fixing it, so it's fine. Then go to the description box, and you can use the same thing for this because you're not going to put one on top, just on the side, so same concept. But for the top, do it also, but like the same concept as the sides, so it doesn't really like, whoa, it got really dark. So I was saying, do that on the top to where it has like the same effect as the sides, because you don't want the top to look like it, because the gradient is supposed to be like on the top of it, like the top lines kind of, which makes it look a lot better if it's not on this one. Some people put it there, I've seen it before, not a big problem, it looks good, it doesn't look bad, there's nothing wrong with it. So come to the YouTube box now, and for this one you can make this a little smaller if you want. You can do 500, maybe even 450, 475, and just do the same thing for that, and then bring this really really low, like 150, and just go around it like this, so it kind of like fades into that. Now for this one you're gonna want like a 700 brush, and just come up, and this is the video box. This is like the main one that you have to make look the best because everyone's gonna be looking at this. This one I'm gonna make it better than this. It's gonna be more wide, and then come to this layer, same concept. And do on the bottom also for this one because you're actually gonna be looking at the bottom on this. Whoa, lag. This Photoshop makes my computer lag like crazy. Never get anything done. Alright, one more. Now let's go back on this layer. Okay. There's that. There's that. And there's that. Okay, now go to the very, very top box. And you can actually delete one of them. You know, usually you could just use one because the color will be the same. Go to the very tip and just click like that. And on the two sides. Okay, now here's the part that you're going to want to pay attention to. Like, this might get a little, I don't know, hard to understand. Actually, not really. You guys are smart. What you're going to want to do is look at this one, like the brightest one, which I would think would be this one. So go down to that, and I kind of messed up here, but you'll get the same concept. Come to the opacity and kind of lower it a bit, because you don't want it to seem too much. And this might not look good right now, but whenever you do it, I'm sure it'll look good if you don't mess up like I did. And then just keep that there for now, and do the rest whatever you want. So I'm gonna change this one right here a little bit down. Actually, this one a lot more down than the others. And then the channel one right there, that one doesn't have to change that much, but enough. And so on. Okay. And this one, if you didn't tap it too hard, you can just leave it like that, which I'm going to do. So this is that now. And you're going to go to the very, very top one and click Pattern Overlay. And you can do lines, but this is one way of doing it. I'm just going to show you guys actually what it looks like. Let me just do it on a bigger one actually, because I'm not going to, I'll show you with a texture instead. Just do a pattern overlay, and for this you can keep it at about 90, that'd be fine. And this pattern, you can find different tutorials for it. It's diagonal lines, or scanned lines, I don't know, whatever people call it now. And you can just put that, you can put any type of pattern that you like, just bring the opacity down. If it's like too much like that, it's way too much, bring the opacity down on it. So I'm just going to bring the scale down for this, for the lines to 90. That's okay. And this is the view you're going to probably be seeing it at. You might not be able to see it really, but if you're looking at it on your own computer, you'll kind of see it. And when you're like on YouTube, it becomes a little bit brighter than you actually think it will. So you'll see that pretty well. So I'm just going to undo that and show you guys the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go to my textures, and you can choose any texture you want. They can be found all over YouTube. And let me see, I'll do this one. Pretty nice, I guess, for this. And whenever you do this, you see like the edges kind of how they're darker. You don't want that on here with like all the darker spots in between. You don't want it to look like that because it makes it look really sloppy and unprofessional, I guess. Looks like you just kind of started GFX if you do that. So just put that over this and press overlay. And you see how it's still kind of dark like that? What I said, like all this dark stuff. If it's a little bit, like compared to what you can actually get, like if you like the texture and you want to keep it like that, then just bring the opacity down and that should be fine. But if there's a ton of dark spots, it's really hard to get rid of, so, but this looks good like that. And just Control J, bring it down on each and every one, and before you like actually like click the Alt to put it over, just zoom out and make sure it fits over it. It's easier without, whoa, sorry. Alright, what just happened? Okay, let's just do that again. Just put that over. I just did what I told you not to do, sorry. Okay. Now bring this all the way down. Control J over this one. Alt. Move it over. Control J. Bring it down. Same thing. Can I have all this? And I don't think I did the top one, so let's get that. Okay. Now you have these really nice modules that have texture on them. So it has a texture and a glow, which I really like about it. It kind of the glow brings out the texture, and the texture brings out the glow, so vice versa. I was gonna ask you guys what you wanted to see for my very next tutorial. So just post a comment, send me a message, I don't care. Add me on Skype, tell me anything. If you have any more questions, just comment on here. I'll read them and respond to you as fast as I can. This is Maze Designs, and I hope you liked the tutorial. See you later, guys.